I'm Mihir Gokhale. I'm a product manager here at ClickHouse, and I'm here from San Francisco. It's my first time in Bangalore, so thanks so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here. So ClickHouse is a really powerful kind of compute engine for use cases like observability, real-time analytics. But today I'd like to talk a bit about data warehousing. So what happens when you extend the power of ClickHouse beyond just kind of logs and metrics and traces, and actually use it as a data warehouse to guide business decisions. So that's what I'd like to talk about today. And so first I'd like to cover a bit about how we've seen this use case evolve, but I'd like to actually spend the majority of my time today talking about how we use ClickHouse internally at ClickHouse as our data warehouse, and how kind of that's evolved over the years. So first, what exactly is data warehousing? Data warehousing is a practice of collecting data from a bunch of different sources within the company, storing it all in one place, and using that to guide business decisions. Ultimately, it's about companies and groups of people working together and making decisions. So about 30 years ago is when we first saw the emergence of data warehouses for the first time. They were on-prem monolithic applications, mainly built around a daily insert job. They were good. They helped businesses do kind of typical historical reporting, but as businesses needed more real-time answers and wanted to move faster, they started to fall behind. So about 10 years later, about 10 years ago, we first saw the emergence of cloud data warehouses. So we saw many of these on-prem workloads start moving to the cloud with the emergence of vendors like Snowflake and BigQuery. And these are really powerful data warehouses. They brought separation of compute and storage. They brought pay-as-you-go pricing. They allowed companies to serve more users, and they allowed these data warehouses to serve more users. And they brought elasticity. But ultimately, these were still monolithic applications, and they had complex ETL processes, closed data formats, and ultimately brought a lot of vendor lock-in. And so today, what we're seeing actually is this cloud data warehouse is starting to become unbundled. So instead of relying on just one kind of single monolithic application to power all data warehousing needs, modern data architectures are using separation of compute and storage to use the best tool for each different job. So you can use databases like ClickHouse for powering real-time workloads like user-facing dashboards or alerting and monitoring, things like that. And so this power, so ClickHouse is really powerful for use cases like that. And so that was our source of inspiration when we were first starting our own data warehousing journey at ClickHouse Cloud, at ClickHouse Incorporated. And so that's what I'd like to talk about today. So over the last 3 years at ClickHouse, in addition to being a product manager, I've also helped develop our own internal data warehouse, which is kind of a dogfooding project within the company. We nickname it the internal DWH, data warehouse. And it's a pretty important system within our company because we use it for financial reporting, we use it for infrastructure cost optimizations, we use it for all of our product analytics. So it's a really cool system within our company, and I think a lot of people in the company know about it. So today, ClickHouse is a more mature company. We've been a company for 4 years, and we've had a product in the market for over 3 years. But at the start of our data warehousing journey, we didn't have anything, right? We were just starting out. I remember it was May of 2022, and ClickHouse Cloud had just launched for the first time in a private preview environment. It was a really big moment for the company. Our engineers had been working on it, our product for months. Our early users were excited to see what we'd built. And there was just a lot of excitement in the air in the company as this launch was happening. And I remember, as this launch was happening, the entire company, because it was less than 50 people at the time, would all huddle in this one Google Meet, and we would all track the onboarding of our first set of users as this launch was happening. So here's an actual screenshot of what this spreadsheet looked like. So each row represents kind of one user that was starting, and each column represents some custom conversion event, like has this user loaded data? Which region are they deployed in? How many queries are they running? Things like that. So before all of us huddled into this meeting every day, I would go through, pull reports from 5 different systems, and join it all together in this one spreadsheet, which was an extremely manual process. But ultimately, it was worth it because everyone in the company was obsessed with this one spreadsheet. In a company where all of our engineers were in Grafana, all of our salespeople were in Salesforce, this spreadsheet was really the only thing that everyone was looking at together. It was the only real the kind of source of truth within the company. And so in a way, this spreadsheet was really our company's first data warehouse. So today, our organization's data warehouse has evolved beyond this one spreadsheet, thankfully, and it's much more full-featured, and using ClickHouse as the underlying database for that has been pretty instrumental in allowing our data warehouse to scale from this one kind of single spreadsheet into something that's a lot more full-featured. So kind of 3 years later, having evolved from this one spreadsheet, this is what our data warehouse looks like today. This is a pretty kind of simple architecture diagram of how our data warehouse looks today. It runs on 3 ClickHouse cloud services in AWS US East 2. And all of these 3 services are part of the same compute groups. They all access the same underlying storage. At its core, the data warehouse really does 3 things. First, it collects data from a bunch of different data sources. There's 19 in total. Then it inserts this data into our kind of central data warehousing system. We use Airflow as a scheduler for that. We have pretty much like hourly or daily insert jobs. There's some stats on how much data we process every day. It's pretty impressive. And then once the data is actually in our data warehouse, we use dbt to orchestrate a bunch of transformations on the data. So we join a bunch of different tables together. We perform aggregations. In general, we rely a lot on denormalized tables so that users have to perform fewer joins. So if I had one tip for how to use ClickHouse, I would say use denormalized data tables. And finally, we provide access. The data warehouse provides access to this data in the form of an access layer. So we've hooked up our data warehouse to Superset, which is a BI tool, so that allows our users to create dashboards and reports and write SQL queries. Our users can also use ClickHouse Cloud's kind of native SQL console and dashboarding features. And one more thing to note is that we've hooked it up to a A/B testing vendor called GrowthBook that allows us to run A/B tests, and we can use the data warehouse for all of that. So I think one place where our data warehouse really excels is in its ability to incorporate real-time data into regular batch reporting. So initially, kind of the reporting we ran in our data warehouse was your pretty standard, like vanilla, reports, like number of customers, number of queries, things like that. But I think things started to get really interesting when we started to import more and more real-time data and data that's in really raw formats. So as an example, we started importing a bunch of data from Google Analytics, which was all a bunch of kind of nested arrays. To give another example, we started importing a bunch of our logs from system tables, or we started offloading copies of our control planes document database, which was all kind of JSON data types. And so when we started importing this data, our users were able to access this like really raw, real-time data as soon as it became available. And when we started doing this, the feedback from our users was really, really positive. So our marketing team was able to get a better sense of which pages on our website were most popular by just doing aggregations of website logs. Our support engineers were able to debug issues with customers by just looking into system logs. And our product team, which I'm a part of, we were able to define really granular conversion events within our product. So we were able to say, like, this is how many customers experienced this very specific ClickHouse error on this particular day. So I think when we started importing this type of real-time data, that's when things got really interesting in our data warehouse. And that's when I think we started to feel like we were able to import this like really flexible data and use really flexible schemas and data types in our reporting. Looking to the future, I think AI has a lot of potential to extend the power of data warehouses. In my kind of 3 years working on this data warehouse, it was really cool because ClickHouse is all run on SQL. So if you could just write basic SQL, you could define these custom conversion events or access JSON data and kind of wrangle it out. But kind of working on the data warehouse, I realized that a lot of people, that includes non-technical people, but also includes a lot of engineers, didn't want to go through the hassle of writing SQL. A lot of engineers I noticed were more used to declarative languages like Python, so SQL didn't come very naturally to them. And a lot of non-technical users just like didn't even want to deal with SQL. Most of our data warehouse users wanted most of the kind of data to be readily accessible kind of in a dashboard that had already been built before. And so this year, what we did was we added another kind of tool in this access layer. We added an MCP server. And that basically allowed our users to write natural language and query the data warehouse directly using natural language. And I think that was a pretty big game changer in the kind of evolution of our data warehouse. So I didn't want to do a live demo, but here's a quick video demo of how it works. The user is just able to write kind of a question in natural language, and then the LLM is able to generate a SQL query, and that can query our ClickHouse database very directly. So we call this AI agent Dwayne. It stands for, I think, Data Warehouse AI Natural Expert or something like that. But his name is Dwayne. And it's essentially able to perform the tasks of like a very entry-level data analyst. So I remember personally before we launched Dwayne, like every day I would wake up and receive like 4 different messages being like, hey, can you write this SQL query for me? Hey, can you generate this report for me? And once we launched Dwayne, kind of all those messages completely went away. So it was pretty cool to see how, an organization like ours where we had limited analyst resources, AI like this was really able to make a difference. So this is the kind of underlying tech stack of how our AI tool, how Dwayne is actually deployed. So we've got an EC2 machine that runs the ClickHouse MCP server, as well as LibreChat, which is the chat UI that you saw earlier. And that's able to directly query the ClickHouse service that runs in ClickHouse Cloud. And the MCP server and the LibreChat application, they're model agnostic, so you can use whichever model you want. Initially, we started with Anthropic's model, but we kind of played around with different models as well. So it doesn't really matter which model you use. As long as it has an API that can be exposed, you can use it. And then another important point that's missing on this diagram is that we also had to write a lot of documentation. So this LLM was able to access our DBT repositories, kind of models and transformations, as well as all the data dictionaries and documentation we'd written. So that was a pretty important part of getting this AI model to work. But once we did get it to work, it was pretty powerful. Kind of initially, using the MCP server, we gave it access to just 1 or 2 tables in the data warehouse. But as that became more and more successful, we started expanding kind of the number of tables that the AI has access to. And I think now it has access to like 7 or 8 tables, but it might be more than that. So yeah, at the end of the day, I think the use of these AI agents with data warehouses is pretty inevitable. Like, I think they're really quite game-changing because you don't have to write SQL. It really extends who's able to get power, who's able to kind of gain use from data warehouses. But I think specifically in a data warehousing context, what's important is that these agents need to be able to produce consistent results. So if 2 different people ask the same question to an agent, it should be able to produce the same response. And with the current state, that's not always the case, so it requires some testing, but I think that should be like the North Star for a data warehousing use case. So yeah, kind of at the end of the day, I think data warehousing and data warehouses are really special because they represent groups of people working together. It's not just kind of one engineer or one salesperson looking at one dashboard. It's a bunch of people coming together and making decisions from data. And it doesn't matter if it's a spreadsheet or if it's like a chat-like interface or if it's a dashboard. That's at its core what a data warehouse does. And is that it keeps groups of people anchored to the same source of truth. And I think for us at ClickHouse, using ClickHouse has been absolutely game-changing for us because as our company has grown, it's allowed our data warehouse to grow and scale really well with it. It makes it easy to add all sorts of new data. It makes it easy to transform that data, and I think it makes it really easy to add additional access points for that data. And so I think it's been really fun using ClickHouse for this, and I think it's been really cool. So yeah, thank you. Looking ahead, I'm really excited to see where data warehouses go and how, and I'm really glad we used ClickHouse. And it really lets us use real-time data. And I think with AI, I'm really excited to see where the field evolves. So thank you so much.